Hey, what up, yo? Um, this is going to be part 7 of chapter 2 of Falling in Love. Alright, so last um video I was talking about how things got hectic. Me and the person who I thought was the love of my life broke up. Dorian and I broke up for the first time, and I was in now on my way to Pittsburgh auditioning for dance colleges. All right, so we sped up. Um, I remember before I went to go to audition for the colleges, I was actually had an audition in Cleveland at Shaw High School for 100 Black Men, which was an honor to perform at. It was an honor to audition for. It was for like a scholarship. They gave us bombs or whatever. And at the audition, I actually was so scared because I went to dance and I've never been to audition before. And I went to dance and there was a guy who got up and he did the same exact Missy Elliott and Ciara Lose Control song as I did. I just auditioned to, and it wasn't his mix though. He still had other mixes, other songs mixed with it too. But I was just like, oh, he did my song and he did it so well that I thought he was better than me. And the guy was cute, but I was just so startled by the dancing. I was so upset. So I did go and congratulate the guy and say, you did really good. Um, and I actually was crying earlier that day because I had left my music at home on an accident. I was on the phone during it, and he was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Whatever, whatever. He was comforting me. But I was telling him about the other guy who was dancing. So that was the end of that story. So just remember that, okay? Remember that because it comes back to haunt me. Um, true. Fast forward it. Now I'm in Pittsburgh auditioning for Point Park University. Um, clearly I didn't get it because I'm at Bowling Green State University. But I was there and I remember auditioning. Um, I was downtown Pittsburgh and then I was going my way back to my hotel. I was on the bus and I was on phone with one of my best friends, Teresa, and we were talking, and whatever, and I get a phone call, beep on the other line, and somebody calls me. I'm like, hello, who is this? And he's like, just starts talking, and he's like, I'm like, who is this? And he was like, it's Dorian. I was like, what up? And I had to click over and tell Teresa I have to call you back because we were just talking about him. I'm like, what's up? He's like, nothing, chilling, whatever. Um, but the whole thing of the story was he was missing me. Um, I kind of felt the same way, but yet I was too focused on this Point Park audition, and he had a boyfriend. What else can I say? I saw I wrapped that conversation up. Didn't really too much think about it while I was in Pittsburgh. Got back to Cleveland. We continued to have conversations, and I started talking to another guy. Well, I started talking to two guys at once, and one of the guys I was talking to had a girlfriend, and he was actually the guy I auditioned with that used my same Sierra song. um, his name's Deontay, and me and Deontay, at first we hit it off a little bit, like we were just flirting, whatever. And how about I, how it came about with me talking to Deontay was he actually, we actually got the 100 Black Men show. We did the show, which was, hmm, I want to say February-ish, not sure. Um, this is 2009, mind you. We did the show. Later, he left before I did. I know I had a friend request. It was him. We started Facebooking, whatever. I am flirting, whatever. Come to find out, he's not gay, but he likes me. Go figure. And I'm down for it. I'm young. He's cute. I'm cute. I'm single. he had his girlfriend. So we kind of kept it friends. We met once, which was on Valentine's Day at Starbucks downtown. We were cool. Um, Never really met up outside of that for real. And so we just talked here and there, and like our conversations was we talk sometime, not talk sometime because he had a girlfriend. I couldn't deal with that. So in the meanwhile, I started talking to another guy he wasn't older than me, I want to say, but yeah, he was like he was more mature mindset wise than me. He was focused on something way different than I was, and he was cute. He was cool for the time being. Um, but I was talking to him. He ended up being my boyfriend all the way to April. Then I remember Dorian and I were talking on the phone, and Dorian was talking about how he wanted to be back with me, and he's kind of wanted to break up with his boyfriend, is in the third, and how at the time, mind you, he's still with Omar, and at the time, how just he didn't want to be in a relationship because kind of Omar wanted to top. Dorian was a top sometimes. I don't know. But he was stopping and Omar wanted to talk to him, and he was asking me like, hey, so I don't know how I'll go about that. I'm like, well, honestly, if you care for the guy and you with him, I think you should try it. Oh, him to at least try. So he did. And for me to be old, mature enough to tell him to have sex with another person when we haven't even had sex yet was like, hey, I was trying to cover him. And yet it was a part of me like, don't tell him that. But I had to be honest, we were friends. And he did it, and he told me about it, and he said it hurt, and he didn't want to do it anymore ever again. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yay. Um, with that, and don't get it twisted. I'm no bottom. I'm very versatile. 100%. So, anywho, he just that whole situation. I don't know what happened with them. They broke up along the way. Womb, womb to womb to womb. Me and the person I was dating kind of broke up down the way. Womb to womb. But me and Zorian did not get back together because the summer came, and in this summer was a boy named Deontay who somehow swept me off my feet. um, I don't know how it happened. It just happened. And mind you, in between the breakup in April was on my birthday, April 21st. Me and with me, my guy. I was being friendly. I was friends with someone I will not say their name. He was a very good friend of mine. We was in Hall City together, and we just really hit it off. We were talking, but yet he was so much younger than me. But I liked him, and we did do it and stuff. But I like he left an impact on my life. Like he's amazing. He's an amazing person. To this day, we're good friends. We don't talk every day or whatever, but we do keep in touch. He's doing wonderful. He looks good. He looks amazing. Um, and I'm glad we don't always be around each other because we have an attraction to each other that is like out of this world. So I just wish him the best. He knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, as time goes on, um, me and Deontay got really, really serious. And oh my goodness, I just know I was going to work with my dad all the time, going to work with my dad, and I'm like helping him clean the dances and teach the dances. The days he couldn't be there, I went there or whatever. And Deontay happened to be one of the students my dad was teaching, and because Deontay is a year younger than me, and I was like, oh shit. And I had just graduated, but it's the summer of my when I graduated and went to college. So me and Deontay was there. We were seeing each other daily and daily and daily and daily. And around this time, I had a best friend, bestest friend in the world. Well, I had two best friends, Mira Lamore Gill, and she's my best friend, and Jerry Warren, who previously years I had dated, but we had become bestest friends, and we were like best friends. You couldn't tell us nothing. We was always talking. He needed anything, I need anything. We were there. Bought my after prom outfit. I mean, I gave him money for bus tickets. Like we were always like yin and yang. Like there was nothing I wouldn't do for Jerry. There was nothing he wouldn't do for me. Um, it's really hard to find friends like that in this world. So if you ever have one, keep them. Uh, Um, um, so anyway, me and Deontay continued and continued to talk every day, and we hung out one day where the dancers rehearsed was up the street on 105 in Superior at Corey's Recreation, and we rehearsed there from afternoon to about evening, and one evening we left, and Deontay came to my house for the first time, and it was crazy. Like, he still had a girlfriend, but something about the summer, like, we had just clicked harder than before, and we were just upstairs in my room talking at first, and I was playing music, and I was like talking to him about certain stuff. He was going through my stuff, you know how boys are, and I'm like whatever. And I sat down by my bed or something, and I know I was sitting on the floor, and he looks at me. He was talking to me, and he looks at me with these big, beautiful brown eyes. Like Beyonce eyes are like they're so big and beautiful. Like I have to look into the camera. Like, and he has these long dark eyelashes and just like this innocence about him. And he just looked at me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, what? And he's like, nothing. And he looks away, and I'm like, no, what? And he just attacks me and kisses me. And Maxwell was playing, and he just kissed me. And I just was like, Deontay, no. And I was like, you have a girlfriend? And he was like, yeah, I know. And he looks down, but then he looks up and he smiles at me. And I just know he was like, what would you do if I didn't have a girlfriend? I was like, I don't know. And an hour or two goes by, and Deontay has to leave. He catches the bus home. While walking to the bus stop, he goes home, and we talk on the phone, of course. And by this time, I don't know what's happening. Like, me and Deontay have been talking, but it's becoming so much stronger. Like to the point I feel like head over heels for this person, and I became head over heels for the person. And I remember he called me on the phone. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing, on the couch, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "I'm about to go clean up. Hold on, I'm gonna call you back." I'm like, "Okay." Like 45 minutes to an hour, he was on my front porch knocking on my door. Just I'm like, what? I'm like, I thought you was cleaning up. He was like, no, I just want to surprise you. And I love spontaneous boys, like spontaneous men, not boys. And it just made me light up. Everything about me lit up. And he was talking to me, and he told me that he broke up with his girlfriend. And I said, why? He's like, we barely talk, like stuff wasn't like this. And he made it seem that it wasn't for me, but yet I sense it's because he wanted to be with me. He was no longer afraid. And if he wasn't afraid, neither was I.